Welcome back. Thank you for staying with the Hot 7 Nightly News. The National Skills Development Center is giving scholarships to 40 people, allowing them the opportunity to learn information technology in order to better their chances of employment in the future. The 2-week course commences on Monday.
Public Relations Officer for the National Skills Development Center, Mustafa Félicien, sat with Hot 7 News Friday morning to speak on an initiative taken by the education institution, which is said to give persons a fair chance at gaining employment. Come Monday, the 18th of March, 40 students will begin a 2-week scholarship course where they will learn the fundamentals of information technology. Félicien said the scholarship opportunity was broadly open to St. Lucians island-wide, who never had any formal training in IT. He also said there was no age nor educational background restrictions attached.
The thinking behind it is to allow persons who have not had the opportunity to get trained in IT the chance to compete. We know 2019, you almost need IT fundamentals in almost any job, in sending out a CV, in researching information online. You need to be able to access a computer, and if you want to even look at your phone as a computer in some sort, it does have a lot of those same capabilities. So it's an opportunity while we're in the process of seeking funding, because NSDC, while we don't consider ourselves for free or ever giving free training, but sponsored training rather. Right now it has been difficult in acquiring that sponsored training. So we've taken upon ourselves actually within our own resources to put it together and see how we can help the youth of St. Lucia.
Although the course is a short one, Félicien said the qualifications achieved in the end will carry some weight.
It is an accredited course as well, so they will get a professional certificate. It is with qualified instructors that we will be doing, and experienced teachers. You will begin NSDC's trademark of soft skills, a bit of our soft skills training. That's something we always want to impact upon any person coming to the NSDC. And of course, those soft skills training will enable the students now to understand what is required for the working world. Upon that, we will also introduce them to the other programs that we now offer, the paid programs, which are all CVQ, not all, but primarily most of them are CVQ centric. And of course, that will enable them to gain the competencies in the various fields, anywhere from bartending, massage therapy, more IT, A+, networking. There's so many.
The PRO said the course is also a door opener.
We definitely see it opening a few opportunities for persons who could not reach. For example, we've had people denied of a job because on a job application it said, "Are you computer literate?" And then you go no. And jobs that maybe call centers, jobs where people have impeccable speaking ability, but however they're not able to process information on a computer. Not that they can't, but they're not confident enough, because they've never had any professional certification in doing it, or they just have not had any professional instruction in doing it as well. So we expect that to boost the confidence for a lot of these people coming to NSDC, and hoping that it will intrigue them to further themselves even more. I'd like to invite all of St. Lucians to check out the courses that are available at NSDC. The quality of training is something that we pride ourselves on, and the need for skilled, trained persons in our society is never enough. So check out NSDC, consider what's being offered, the value of the certification that's available as well, and explore your potential.
Félicien said the initiative will recommence and continue on after the first batch of 40. However, he revealed that going forward, a fee of no more than $75 will be applied to future students. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
The president of the National Council for Persons with Disabilities is calling on the powers that be, namely the Ministry of Infrastructure, to do more to make the city and essentially the whole of St. Lucia more accessible for locals and tourists alike, so they can get around, be it on foot or by wheelchair.
One aspect of the city is constantly being overlooked, which if addressed could bring more tourists to St. Lucia, says the president of the National Council for Persons with Disabilities. Accessibility into some of the facilities in the city centre for the disabled, especially those in wheelchairs, is an aspect which is not given nearly enough attention. Phyllis James has called on government and others to rectify the situation, which would promote inclusivity.
Understanding that tourism is our main industry, over the years we have seen great improvement in our city with accessible infrastructure being put in place to allow wheelchair users to move easily around our city. There has been great improvement. However, there is still much room and scope that we can even improve what already exists. Because there are certain key points where tourists still have great difficulty. Tourists on wheelchairs, on power chairs, still have great difficulty accessing certain business places in our city. Accessible infrastructure is not just for tourists, not just for any one group. Once you put the infrastructure in place, everyone benefits. First and foremost, our citizens. Any St. Lucian on a wheelchair, on a power chair, any St. Lucian with a disability should have the right, should be able to easily access anywhere, any public space, any business in our city.
James points out one feature which he gives as evidence St. Lucia's oversight on the issue.
In terms of pedestrian access, our council has been concerned for a while, especially when it comes to pedestrian bridges, the walkovers. We look at our neighboring island like Martinique, just across the waters. And in their pedestrian bridges, they ensure that ramps are put in, wheelchair ramps are placed to allow access to persons with disabilities. So looking at our pedestrian bridges, Sunny Acres in Shaw, how does a person on a wheelchair use that? Independently, by themselves, without having to be shoved up, pushed up, or carried about. Persons with disabilities need to be afforded the dignity of moving themselves about independently.
I am Trisha Lionel for Hot 7 News.
The Cultural Development Foundation has put a call out for artists from Vieux Fort to be a part of this year's National Art Festival. Visual as well as performance artists are encouraged to register to be a part of the grand showcase aimed at highlighting the talent that exists in Vieux Fort.
Charged with the responsibility for preserving and developing St. Lucian culture is the Cultural Development Foundation. The latest initiative of the foundation revolves around the National Arts Festival for 2019. Hot 7 TV sat down with Senior Events and Production Officer Tyrone Harris, who says that an open call has been issued to visual and performing artists in the Vieux Fort community to ensure that talent from that area has the chance to showcase their creativity as part of the Vieux Fort North Community Festival, which will be held on May 4th to the 5th.
The call for participation from artists from that area is geared mainly towards us coming up with that program that would feed into the visual arts exhibition, which is one component of the community festival, and also the performance concert. Those two components are used mainly by CDF to celebrate the artists that we know of in the community, and also gives us an idea of who are the artists in the community which we don't know about, who may be good enough already, or who, after we've seen what they have to offer, CDF could decide there's an area for training and development, so we could offer these persons training. So basically the call for artists is geared towards doing that.
Interested persons who wish to register for the festival can obtain forms from the CDF office in Barnard Hill, Castries, or Bellevue Human Resource Development Center and the Vieux Fort North Constituency Council office in Pierrot, Vieux Fort. According to Harris, the exhibition looks to cater to all genres of artists and art forms.
It will be hosted in the community of Bellevue. Right? We're going to stage an exhibition that will run for 2 days. Right? We will endeavor to bring some life to that exhibition, not just for persons who walk into an exhibition hall, but to also have performances alongside the exhibition. And then on the last day of the community festival, which is the Sunday the 5th, we're going to stage a performance concert where artists from that community will put on their talents on stage, whether it be in dance, theater, fashion, you name it, anything that would bring out St. Lucia's culture and the talents of the artists, we will endeavor to showcase on that day.
With the dynamic atmosphere that surrounds the art world, Harris notes that the Cultural Development Foundation looks to cater to both traditional and non-traditional forms of exhibitions.
Well-known St. Lucian artist Jalim Yudovic. This is the area that he is strong in of late. He's been putting on some international exhibitions as far as England and China. So we are open to that kind of exhibition. If when we register some of the artists from the community, if that's how they want to display their work, we will welcome it. It's not simply about paintings and drawings and stuff like that. We want persons to express themselves in whatever space that they want to express themselves. So we will create the environment for them to do so.
The launch of the National Art Festival looks to take place in the beginning of April. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
You're watching the Hot 7 Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more news after the break.